From its humble beginnings as a niche experiment in internet money, Bitcoin has risen to become a multi-billion-dollar asset and a fascinating case study in decentralized finance. Its meteoric ascent has sparked intense debate and speculation. Could this pioneering cryptocurrency actually go all the way and one day replace the US dollar as the world's dominant currency? A prospect that seemed laughable when Bitcoin started, but is now being seriously discussed everywhere from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. So buckle up, because today we're going to take a deep dive into this very question: what makes Bitcoin unique? To truly grasp the powerful allure and growing mania behind Bitcoin, we need to first understand the major criticisms leveled against the traditional fiat currency by its detractors. At its core, many view the current system of paper money issued by governments as being far too centralized and opaque, leaving it prone to manipulation, mismanagement, and subject to the whims of central banks and policymakers. Bitcoin, with its decentralized blockchain network and transparent digital ledger visible to all, proudly touts itself as a revolution against this established fiat paradigm. Its coded supply is capped at just 21 million coins that can ever be minted, making it an inherently deflationary and scarce asset. This is in stark contrast to fiat currencies, which can have their supply inflated at will by central banks printing more cash. This perceived scarcity and supply cap has fueled a fervent belief among Bitcoin supporters, dubbed crypto bros, that it represents a superior inflation-proof store of value, compared to fiat alternatives that often see their purchasing power devalued over time through money printing. They envision Bitcoin as a modern-day digital gold to park one's wealth, particularly in times of economic crisis, currency devaluations, or geopolitical instability. Moreover, the anonymous and borderless nature of Bitcoin transactions, facilitated by encrypted wallets and the lack of regulatory oversight, has added to its appeal in the eyes of those seeking financial privacy from prying governments. While some appreciate this as a bulwark against overreaching authorities, critics view it as a risk for enabling illicit activities like money laundering, tax evasion, and financing criminal enterprises. So while controversial, it's clear why the utopian vision of Bitcoin, a decentralized, deflationary, privacy-protecting digital currency, has captured the imagination and fervor of a growing movement of passionate supporters. They see it as a revolutionary leap towards separating money from the nation-state. But can this still highly experimental and volatile asset truly unseat the hegemonic US dollar? We'll explore that burning question next. The dominance of the US dollar. To truly understand the monumental challenges facing Bitcoin's potential to replace the US dollar, we must first appreciate the absolutely unprecedented dominance and global hegemony the US dollar has established over the past century. Today, the US dollar reigns supreme as the world's preeminent reserve currency. A staggering 60% of all foreign currency reserves held by governments and major institutions around the globe are denominated in US dollars. From trade deals to bank accounts, the ubiquity of the dollar is simply unmatched on the world stage. This exorbitant privilege, as it's been called, stems from the economic and military might of the United States in the latter half of the 20th century. As the last man standing from World War II, America's unparalleled economic power and the dollar's reliability as a stable store of value allowed it to supplant the British pound as the global currency of choice. Since then, the US dollar's dominance has only solidified over the decades. It has become inexorably woven into the very fabric of international trade, financial markets, corporate finance, and even commodities pricing. Whether it's oil futures, multinational loans, or major investment vehicles, all are inextricably tied to the US dollar's supremacy. This universality is also perpetuated by the sheer size and unmatched liquidity of the US Treasury market. With roughly $24 trillion worth of highly liquid dollar-denominated debt outstanding, the U.S. remains the world's lender of last resort. This bedrock status provides immense monetary flexibility and ability to project economic power abroad for Washington. For Bitcoin to truly have a shot at dethroning this deeply entrenched US dollar supremacy would require a fundamental shift in the tectonic plates underlying the entire global financial order. It's not just about toppling the dominance of a single fiat currency. It would mean overturning the very monetary system the world has operated under for the better part of a century. As we'll explore, this is no easy feat for Bitcoin to pull off. The US dollar's hegemony is deeply rooted in American economic and geopolitical clout. Displacing that would require Bitcoin to reshape the world's perception of money itself. While it's been an impressive run so far for the crypto pioneers, they're up against a monetary titan battle-tested through decades of wars, sanctions, and worst-case scenarios the world has thrown at it, volatility and adoption challenges. One of the significant hurdles Bitcoin faces is its notorious volatility. While this volatility has been a boon for speculators, it poses a significant challenge for Bitcoin's adoption as a widely accepted medium of exchange. Imagine trying to buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin, only to find that the price has fluctuated wildly by the time you reach the counter. This level of instability makes it difficult for businesses and consumers to rely on Bitcoin for day-to-day transactions. Additionally, Bitcoin's adoption is still relatively limited compared to the ubiquity of traditional fiat currencies. While the number of merchants accepting Bitcoin has grown, it pales in comparison to the vast network of businesses and institutions that accept the US dollar. For Bitcoin to truly challenge the dollar's dominance, it would need to overcome these adoption barriers and establish itself as a reliable, widely accepted, and stable currency for everyday use. Regulatory hurdles and institutional acceptance. Another significant challenge facing Bitcoin is the regulatory landscape. Governments and financial institutions around the world have taken varying stances on cryptocurrencies, with some embracing them cautiously and others outright banning or heavily restricting their use. The decentralized nature of Bitcoin and its potential for anonymity have raised concerns about its use in illicit activities, such as money laundering and financing of illegal operations. Addressing these concerns and establishing a robust regulatory framework that fosters trust and transparency will be crucial for Bitcoin's mainstream adoption. Furthermore, institutional acceptance plays a pivotal role in the widespread adoption of any currency. While some major companies and financial institutions have begun to embrace Bitcoin, many others remain hesitant or outright skeptical. For Bitcoin to truly challenge the dominance of the US dollar, it will need to garner widespread acceptance and integration into the traditional financial system, something that may require significant regulatory clarity and institutional buy-in. The role of central bank digital currencies. As we ponder the future of digital currencies, we can't overlook the potential impact of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. These are digital versions of fiat currencies issued and regulated by central banks. Several countries, including China, Sweden, and the Bahamas, have already launched or are actively developing their own CBDCs. The motivation behind CBDCs varies, but they generally aim to address issues such as financial inclusion, cross-border payments, and the potential decline of cash usage. The emergence of CBDCs could potentially pose a significant challenge to Bitcoin's aspirations. As state-backed digital currencies, CBDCs may offer a more regulated and stable alternative to cryptocurrencies, potentially undermining the appeal of decentralized options like Bitcoin. However, it's important to note that the development and adoption of CBDCs are still in their early stages, and their long-term impact on the cryptocurrency landscape remains uncertain. As we've explored, the prospect of Bitcoin replacing the US dollar as the world's dominant currency is a complex and multifaceted issue. While Bitcoin undoubtedly represents a disruptive force in the financial realm, its path to widespread adoption and potential dethroning of the US dollar is fraught with challenges. That said, the world of finance is ever evolving, and technological advancements continue to reshape the landscape. Bitcoin, or perhaps some other cryptocurrency or digital asset, could potentially gain more traction and acceptance in the future, especially if it addresses issues such as volatility, scalability, and regulatory concerns. Ultimately, the future of money is likely to be shaped by a combination of factors, including technological innovation, shifting global economic dynamics, and the evolving needs and preferences of individuals and institutions alike. Whether Bitcoin emerges as a true challenger to the US dollar or not, one thing is certain: the ongoing debate and exploration of alternative monetary systems and digital assets will continue to captivate and shape the financial world for years to come. And there you have it, the case for whether Bitcoin could realistically replace the US dollar as the world's dominant currency. But I want to hear from you. What do you think of the points raised? Does Bitcoin have what it takes to become the new global reserve currency? Or is the US dollar's reign destined to remain firmly intact? Leave your thoughts and perspectives in the comments below. And if you found this video valuable and want to see more content exploring the fascinating world of crypto, blockchain, finance, and beyond, do me a big favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another video from this channel.